Welcome to the Real Estate Pros Show, where we interview real estate investing professionals from coast to coast, as well as the service providers that serve the real estate investing industry. Our goal is simple: share what's working now to help you improve and scale your business to the next level and meet the pros that can help you get there. Real Estate Pros is powered by Investor Fuel, America's leader in helping real estate investors and professionals build the business you need to live the life you've always dreamed of. Let's start today's show. Property insurance for real estate investors doesn't have to be difficult, but it does need to be there to protect you when you need it. MyInvestorInsurance.com not only provides insurance at 15 to 30% cheaper than traditional agencies, it's built specifically for real estate investors like you. You can set up an account in about 2 minutes, get quotes on properties, turn on and turn off insurance for your fix and flip or rental properties in around 2 minutes without having to talk to anyone directly, all through our portal. There's no better way or faster way to make sure you've got the coverage you need to protect you, and no more lengthy policies either. Once you're set up, you're billed monthly and prorated by the day for however long your policy is active. It's powered by MSI, the third largest independent MGA, with 1.5 million customers and more than $1 billion in cumulative premiums written. Get set up today in about 2 minutes at myinvestorinsurance.com/fuel.
All right, guys, welcome back to the show. I am your host, Brett McCollum, and I'm here today with Chad Reisinger, and today we're going to be talking about development. Guys, before we do, wanted to tell you a little bit more about Investor Fuel. We help real estate investors, service providers, and real estate entrepreneurs to 2 to 5x their businesses to allow them to build the businesses they've always wanted and allow them to build the lives they've always dreamed of. Without further ado, Chad, how are you, man?
Hey, I'm great. Great to be here.
Yeah, man, dude, we hadn't yet met until just a little bit ago, kind of pre-show, but really great kind of getting to know you a little bit, catching up a little bit. So kind of give some history, man. It was a lot of fun for me getting to know you. Tell the people a little bit who you are, give some background, that sort of thing.
Yeah, well, I'm fired up about real estate development, but
Yeah.
starting out, so I went into construction when I was 18, went to work for the union, and we started taking some of the biggest projects in Kansas City out of the ground with grown men. So I was 18 years old and going to work with guys who were going through their first divorce. So it was a crazy time, and
Yeah.
just throw you to the wolves and go to work every day and in the mud and the grit and all that. But did all that for about 10 years and was building homes on the side. Always wanted to be a real estate developer, building spec homes, some multifamily, and a couple of custom homes for some friends of mine's parents and things like that. So was doing that too. And then '08 happened. So generationally, I was about 28 years old in '08. And so everything just quit. Everybody got laid off from work and the real estate, collapse and all of that. But really what that did is it forced me into going full time into entrepreneurship and building and developing and using all those skills that I had learned over the last 10 years and really put that to work for myself. And in hindsight, probably the best thing that could have helped push me into what I really wanted to do, which was work for myself and be an entrepreneur. So went into remodeling apartment complexes with the water and fire restoration companies. We were taking over their big projects. We had the licenses and things we needed to go in and remodel those, and then went into commercial and real estate development. And I'm actually in a self-storage facility right now that I built and developed on 4 acres just outside of Kansas City. I stay in the suburbs of Kansas City.
Yeah.
This one's in Grain Valley, Missouri, and I built myself a little back office here. So I'm just in the self-storage facility this morning. And then we've got a single family residential development on a golf course going in right now. So I'll be out there this afternoon and working on that project.
Dude, that's super cool, man. We have a lot to unpack with this, obviously, because development, a lot of our shows that we're listening to, a lot of us are, just the everyday single family home, fix and flip or buy and hold investor. Maybe, I say every day, and a lot of us have X amount of rental properties, but not a lot of opportunities that we're talking about development, right?
Well, I've done all
And
that too. So, you kind of
yeah.
do a little bit of that all throughout your career as well.
Stop living on an island and join the #1 mastermind in America for professional real estate investors. Investor Fuel is a community of hundreds of the nation's top investors working together to build stronger businesses and better lives. In addition to the amazing community of real estate investors acting as a board of advisors for one another, Investor Fuel members have access to 100% funding on purchase and repairs for our members only, a health insurance program, and benefits and discounts that more than pays for the membership of most of our members, meaning it's actually costing you money to not be a member of Investor Fuel. If you're looking to scale your business and build a business that allows you to live the life of your dreams, please visit investorfuel.com today and book a call with our team.
Yeah, I'm sure you have, because you see opportunity. You see, when you own one of my theories is like, if you can, he or she owns the money, owns the deal, but also who controls the construction controls the deal, right?
The way I see it is real estate developers are really the market makers,
Yeah.
create the market out there. And so that's what I love about it is we come in and we create that market. And so many of the fix and flippers or the apartment complex buyers and things, they're buying a development that somebody else has put in years ago. And so
Mm-hmm.
we're just getting out in front of that and putting it in ourselves.
Yeah. Something you'd said, and it kind of sparked a thought, because trying to draw a lot of parallels to, like maybe the single family home operator, and that's their niche, or and maybe like more of what I might identify with in the wholesale world too, right? We have our niches. A lot of us, we take a course, or we go to some kind of a thing, we buy it, we go through the curriculum, if you will, and now we're pros, right? So then we're going to go off on our own and start our own business. You'd mentioned that you jumped in at 18 and you were there for 10 years, right?
Uh-huh.
Before you went out on your own. What do you think? And I think I know the answer, but do you think that training ground from 18 to 28 helped you to be where you are? Kind of walk me through that a little bit.
Yeah, it did. And it's about what you make out of it.
Mm-hmm.
When I went when I went to work and we were bringing big projects out of the ground, I was there observing what all the trades were doing. I was
Yeah.
here to learn what the process of how, what goes in first, what's second, what's third, and all of that. And so that really helped me, just not going through the motions, but really paying attention to what's going on and how it's being done by the best in the city. I mean, we were on big projects, and so I was learning how to do it by the best. And so I just looked at it that way and really took that knowledge and started building homes on the side and really
Very cool.
kind of taking that to another level with, just kind of having no fear too. There was a lot of guys that
Yeah, when you're young and there's no
yeah, I
fear.
had no fear. And I worked with a lot of guys that were like, I would ask them like, why aren't we building houses? Like everybody was building houses in '06. Let's just get it straight. Like you couldn't build a house that didn't sell. And
Yeah,
so, everybody
that
was,
feels familiar.
and it wasn't that big of a leap to go and get a house built, to go start building houses back then, because it was so easy and money was easy to get and things like that. But I can remember going and buying my first lot and telling my friend's dad that I had bought a lot and I'm going to start building houses. And he's like, "You did? Really? Oh, well, I'm going to go." So he went and bought a lot and started building houses. Like it just took, that kid who's half
Mm-hmm.
your age to go in and start doing it. But really from 18 to 28, that was really a lot of experience and big, heavy construction. And
Yeah.
that was, I started out in residential, really because it was the most accessible to me to do that. But then during the day, I was going to work on big, huge commercial projects at another level. So I was getting to see where I wanted to go and then working on where I needed to start to
Yeah.
get there.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I was getting. It's like there's so much to be said for having a place to hone your craft
Yeah.
before you take it out on your own, and
But
you make the mistakes.
say this, I've bought all the courses too.
Yeah. Okay.
into all the meetups and I go to all the courses and I've done all that stuff too. So
If you're looking for consistent, high-quality leads, look no further than Investor Machine. Investor Machine isn't just another agency, it's the most sophisticated, data-driven lead generation company on the planet for real estate investors, and serves the role of being not just a lead generator for your business, but a marketing partner that is helping you achieve your goals along the way. Go to investormachine.com to learn more and schedule a call with our team today.
however you get there is I would encourage anybody to do what you can do to get there. And I've done the courses too. I've bought anything under $500 I've bought.
Yeah, right. Well, I tell people when they're coming in and talking to us and talking to me separately, that sort of thing, I'm like, man, one of the best things you can do is go work for somebody for a little while.
Mhm.
Learn the business. Know, because you don't know what you don't, or at very least hire a coach that's going to save your butt from making those mistakes, or go make them on your own, and that's fine too. But I try to warn people ahead of time, and I think that's really cool because what you've been able to do since then, you're talking about self-storage and you got, your other development, things like that. It's like, you almost wonder, do you get to that without having, you don't know, this has been your path, so we won't know. But I look at it from a perspective like, man, it's really impressive to see like the trajectory in the path that's been there. And man, that's really cool to watch.
Yeah, and I still seek out those mentors. I was in a meetup. A guy on Facebook was putting together a multifamily, uh, meetup development type of thing, and he wanted to sell a course. That's great. I went there anyway, and I knew what I
I
was
mean,
getting
you can
into.
take nuggets from anything. Absolutely.
But I met a guy there who was asking some very good questions, and I went up and met him after the meeting, and I was like, "Are you a builder and a developer?" He's like, "Yes." I got his name and number. I went to visit him, and we just hit it off. I mean, it's just things like that where like I can go and I want to meet with him. I go out, he's putting in subdivisions, he's building them out, he's buying lots, and he's interested in Missouri side. So now we're talking about developments that I have coming up in the future. And so you just never know where you're going to meet somebody that's going to take you to the next level.
That's right.
And then you're never at the top. You're always moving
We're
towards
growing.
other people, always growing and moving towards, people that are doing it bigger
Yeah.
that can help you
Well,
out and give you some insight.
you go into this kind of forced into it, like we talked about, almost to get on your own in that '08 space. Looking back, you made mention like that was the best thing that could have happened to me. In the moment, though, was it scary or is it exciting or is it both? Like, what was that like?
Yeah, absolutely. It is. I, I don't really remember. Like I just
That is a while ago.
one foot in front of the other is just always been my mantra and faith. I mean, I just
Yeah.
really don't have a lot of fear that I just know that you've got to keep growing and taking risk and I've done that and it's paid off in the past and I just know what's I just get that confidence as I move through life that just one foot in front of the other, making the best decisions you can in the moment
Right.
and then moving through mitigating risk, but still taking on risk. And so, was it scary? I don't know. I always tend to, keep my expenses low at home. So I think it's important to have a really good sense of budgeting and things not living outside of your means. So I didn't
Hmm.
really have a whole lot of fear of going out there and taking risk. I just didn't have huge house payment and big car payments and things like that. So I just kept it. I don't hope that's not too boring of an answer, but
Not, no, I
I
mean,
really just,
everybody has their own path, man. Like, yeah, that's just, and it's really just a testament to your grit that's inside of you, right? Like that's a thing. Like, and some people have it and some people don't. And that doesn't make anybody you better or worse than anybody else. Just means like Chad's got that thing, like which is really cool. Um, moving into all right, talk me through this. You just said self storage, so obviously, like you're going through like how did you land on that side of it? Like what happened there?
wanted to get into development and wanted to put in my own infrastructure and stuff and just prove to myself that all of the things that I've learned, that I know it. and that I can do it. And so one of the things I could do was put together a self-storage facility in my hometown. And
If you're a new or newer real estate investor looking to launch or grow your real estate investing business, please check out Investor Fuel Club. It's a coaching community, but unlike anything you've ever seen before. And you can actually partner with members of our mastermind from coast to coast on deals right in your market. There's no better opportunity to build a consistent business than to literally partner with pros to help you avoid costly mistakes, avoid the need for capital to do deals, and help you eliminate your fears as you're starting your business. Learn more about Investor Fuel Club at investorfuel.com/club.
just looked around, and I don't want to, I'm not a genius. I just timed it perfectly. Like
Yeah.
we got started in 2019, built it out in 2020, and filled it up. And so it
Yep.
went really well. And it was at a time when self-storage was coming into its prime, and a lot
Yep.
of people were there, the uncertainty with uh coronavirus and everything. Nobody knew what was going to happen. We just put one foot in front of the other. We kept
Yep.
building, kept growing, and lo and behold, everybody needed storage from that. So
Yeah.
time,
It popped off. That's for sure.
yeah, and even my peers in the industry are like, you don't know. And then I'm like, well, whatever, but I'm still gonna do more. So
Yeah.
love the business. It's incredible. I'm going to do 10 more, and we're just going to
Wow.
look for those opportunities and get those entitlements with the city. We're going to build more. And I've got my mom in the office working working this. It's so easy, and she loves it, and it's great, and we're just having a lot of fun with it. So it's a great business, and really just kind of was looking at a lot of different things to do, and self-storage just kind of made sense on this property at that time.
Yeah.
And
How does it, and this is just a for me question. I'm just like, because I know a lot of different operators that have really high on self storage. Um, they speak really highly of the business model on it. Maybe give, I don't know, the 50,000 foot view business model of self storage and why it makes a lot of sense right now.
so there's demand for it for sure. Whether the market's going up and people are selling and moving, or the market's going down, they're downsizing and they're needing sport storage for that. And then there's also everything in between. The other thing too that I love about it is that the laws surrounding self-storage are very pro-operator. And so when someone doesn't pay me, they have 45 days to pay me or they're out, and I can sell their stuff and move them out. There's no court, there's no court case, there's no eviction process, there's none of that. So it's very pro operator, and that if somebody doesn't pay me, I move them out and I get somebody else to come in and pay for the storage. And I love that part. I'm not dealing with tenants who don't want to pay, and then I have to go through eviction processes
Right.
and court cases and things like that. The other thing is that from a business model standpoint, the pricing is very flexible. So it's month to month, and it's, as demand comes up and we get full, we can raise rates as we need to. And then if we need to do a special or anything like that, or we need to, give somebody a break or lower some rates, we can do that too. And
Yeah.
it's very month to month, very fluid. And now we have a little different model than most of the corporate. We're a mom and pop type of place, so we don't raise our rates every 3 months, to get that maximum amount. But that also gives us a lot of success here because we get a lot of customers from those places that come in.
Yeah.
They want to stay at a place where it's just a steady, maybe once a year type of increase, and we have a lot of long-term tenants. So that was one of the biggest surprises too, was that not only do we have long-term tenants, but they also they love it here. They'll get another unit, and they'll get another unit. I did not realize how many customers we would get that would get another one and another one. So
Wow. Yeah, I wouldn't have thought that either. Yeah, that's really, huh.
yeah.
Yeah, and I bet maintenance overhead is minimal because it's as of today anyway because it's new. But
Yeah, exactly. And that's why I would go new. I mean, I see a lot of a lot of facilities that are 30, 40 years old with a line around the block to buy them, and they're in very old condition and need updates, and they've been maxed out in all of their pro formas and their, all of that taken over by professional operators. And I get really nervous or worried for customers that might come in and see that and think they're getting great value, but there's a lot of maintenance that goes into those older units that I think are kind of going to be a little bit of trouble. If you can't tell, I'm completely biased for new construction. So, but I can see the writing on the wall with these older, we get
Yeah.
a lot of customers from the older facilities that are like, it's just, it just, they were built with skinnier driveways and insulation in the ceilings that can fall, that
Right.
and
Yeah.
it
Just,
just it just isn't the same product that you can build today.
yeah. I mean, it's super cool. I'm glad you were able to kind of, break that down a bit there. And I know that if it's done right and you got your numbers right, like ROI side of it's pretty lucrative too. So,
Yeah, commercial's just another world when it comes to raising rates and lowering costs and um, dividing that by your cap rate and getting a heck of a return on your investment. It's great.
yeah, I know. I've heard so many people like super pro on that. Um, Want to transition a bit to just kind of for sake of time. You're building out you have another development. You said, was it on a golf course, right? That you're building out? Is that correct?
Yes, we have a single family subdivision going in right along the seventh green.
Wow. How
Yeah,
many homes are you guys doing on that one?
put in 30 homes there in the first
Wow.
phase. And so it's going to be nice. It's really great spot, really great niche little spot surrounded by woods. And when you've got the golf course on three sides of you and you're building in there,
Yeah.
customers love that because they know that you're not going to have another portion of the subdivision, another 800 homes attached to you, all using that main road through your subdivision. We're just kind of an exclusive little 30 lot subdivision right there that,
Really cool.
yeah, it's going to be cool. A lot of complaints from customers that, well, I bought this property and then somebody's building right behind me. I thought that was going to be woods the rest of my life. And what we're
Yeah.
doing is we're creating those green spaces around the property so that nobody is going to build behind you, or you've got a golf course lot there. So, and there's a lot of demand for single family lots right now. There's a lot of really qualified builders that are looking for lots in our
Yeah.
in our market. We've got a
I
little
mean,
bit of a hiccup going on right now, but they've worked, I mean, when they worked through 2023, and then 2024 was a little better. What we're developing, what we're putting in right now is really actually a spring of 2026 play. So when we're developing today, you
right.
those builders are going to come in and start building in the fall for spring of 2026. So I think there's a lot of optimism around that timing.
Well, that was going to be one of my questions, I guess, too, from the development play, right? Is in the fix and flipper play, we can it's a little maybe not easy because, like, I mean, I got beat up on some personal stuff last year, I got swept into some forecasting that I mistimed, because rates weren't where they are now at the time, and this, that, and the third, and those things hadn't slowed down yet, and we kind of got caught up into it a little bit. When you're forecasting out a full year plus, there's so much. From the developer lens, how are you doing that? Like, because obviously we can't know everything that far ahead, but there's probably certain metrics that you are watching that say, you know what, this is a safe, like mitigating your risk. This is as safe as I know how to make it in the moment. What do you do on that situation?
Man, a lot of it that I count on personally and hold close to me is just my organic questions that I ask other builders and developers. What are you seeing?
Yeah.
And so there's, you know, that portion of it, from builder after builder after builder is like, yes, we're interested in more lots. We're interested in ramping up. We've come through a slow fit period right now, but we're optimistic about the future. So a lot of it is organic. And then, some of it is just instead of, looking at, well, what do I predict will happen? I look at, well, what's the probability of what's going to happen?
Hmm.
we can look back and see there's been hiccups, but we can also see that real estate as a whole has gone up, with a few dips, but continues to go up. I don't want to get into this. Well, it's always going to go up kind of, 'cause that's
Right.
not what I'm saying, but the probability of it. And one of the metrics I've been looking at is everybody's heard on the news that there's a 4 million house
Shortage. Yeah.
shortage. Um, but on top of that, there's the metric that if interest rates were going to come down, maybe just even a 1%,
Dude.
about 5 million new buyers would be coming into the market that can qualify for a new home. Another metric is that you've got the millennial and Gen Z. Statistically, the millennials, when you're in your 30s, home ownership is about 33%. When you get into your 40s and 50s, which they're getting into their 40s now, and that goes up to 53%. So that's another 10 million homes that we're going to
Yeah.
need for those homeowners, for those. And then Gen Z's right behind them. Very low home ownership rate right now at 8%. But as they move forward in the next 10 years, going into
Right.
their prime buying ages, that's another 10 million of
Yeah.
homes that we're going to need. So when you add all of that up, that there's just a really good looking runway for new construction in this country.
Yeah. And that, I mean, we hear that a lot, and bumps and bruises happen. I mean, you went through the whole '08 cycle too. And I mean, you probably know many, developers that maybe went under in those times.
Yeah.
But the great thing about real estate is we all are going to need roof over our heads, that sort of thing. What are you doing? I'm curious, price point wise, like, is there a target that you guys like to build for, or is it more custom in nature than that it kind of varies? What do you guys do?
Yeah, so sometimes the builders kind of dictate the partnerships that I bring that I get are kind of dictate what we're going to do. And a lot of what we do is a mixed use development where there's a little bit of everything. So we've got the higher end builders that are looking for lots. We'll put those in. But we'll take 100 acres and we'll break it down to a single family subdivision where it's a step down process. We'll have the bigger homes step down to a little bit smaller home to step down to another one.
Yeah.
And I've got the builders in each one of those genres. That's their bread and butter. That's all they want to do. And then
Right.
another portion of it would be like the patio home development. And I've
Hmm.
got a guy that does nothing but patio homes, and he's really good at it, and they're gorgeous. And he kicks everybody's butt on what they
Yeah.
look like and how. I mean, these patio homes look like they should be the upper end homes. So he's
Yeah.
doing a really great job. When you meet people like that, it's really easy to gain the confidence to come in and put a subdivision in because you're providing the product that they want, and you can cater to it. I think that another thing too is that if you're a blue collar developer right now, if you've got the do they still say Rolodex? I say Rolodex.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you've got a contact list of your your excavators and your utility contractors and things like that, that I think there's a real opportunity for blue collar developers right now. I'm not hating on the corporate guys, but I've talked to them too. I sit down with them anytime they'll let me sit down with them, and the conversations that we have are a lot of it is around, well, we've got this big project under contract, and we've got $1 million in lawyer fees, and we've got $500,000 in engineering so far, and then we're getting ready to go into putting into the subdivision, and we're asking for all these bonds and these TIF uh increment financing stuff from the city to be able to get all this stuff done. And I'm just like, oh my gosh,
Yeah.
like, what are you guys doing?
Brain damage, right? Yeah.
I'm just like, I'm putting in a subdivision right now. I've got $20,000 in it up front. I don't,
That's it.
and so I think if you're, and now you look, when you work on bigger projects, the price is going to go up, but not that much. And if you're
Mhm.
going to go and ask for all of those incentives and stuff from the city, I think there's a real opportunity for blue collar developers to go in and say, I'm not going to ask you for any of those incentives. Here's my plan to put it all together and just do it myself. And I think
Wow.
real opportunity for people to come in and be able to do that. Now, what's great about it is the the commercial developers that are doing, they're pushing the lot prices up and up and up because their cost is going up and up and up. They've put themselves in a situation where they're hiring everything out, even general contracting the infrastructure on their projects. Then what that allows me to do is come in and get it done myself for less and still charge those prices that they're creating the market up here for,
Sure.
and come in and do that. So I would encourage anybody that's in development that's doing it, that's either they've done it and they've backed out, or they're wanting to do it really bad. I think there's some real opportunity in certain markets. Now, flooded markets like, let me say popular markets like your Texas and Florida and things like that, where the population is moving. There's a reason for why that's very popular to build and develop in those areas. I just, even for me, I would be a little bit hesitant because there just seems like to be a lot of big players, a lot of people, a lot of competition here in Kansas City in the Midwest. There's the big players, of course, but still a lot of opportunities. I get calls every single day to buy my self-storage facility, and the line is around the block for an apartment complex or a self-storage facility. But I can go and look at land that's been on the market for 6 months and they haven't had an offer yet on it.
Right.
And I'm just not in a whole lot of competition with anyone else. If I want to come in and put in the street and curb and infrastructure myself, there's 3 or 4 other players in the market in a certain area that may be doing stuff, but if they've got other things going on, it leaves an opportunity to go and put a project
For
in a.
any one of you, right? Like, and like you might be in, and they can, like, yeah, that's really cool. Because there's really no, at the end of the day, it sounds like you're really good at, like, because you said, I don't know if it's pre-show or like where you're working with these other guys, like, hey, I know this guy that wants to do this and I can push it over to him. And, like you guys are able to collaborate more than compete even.
Exactly. That's the way I've seen it too, is just that other builders and developers, some of the surprising conversations that I've had are like, yeah, I'll buy lots from another developer, and they're developers, right? And they're building out their own subdivision. And they're like, well, yeah, I'm going to go buy his lots out too. I want to stay relevant. I want to stay in the flow.
Yeah. There's
And
so much more opportunity and collaboration than there is to try to compete with all those around us.
yeah, yes. And there's opportunities even to work with the corporate companies like a Lennar that you get the property under contract, they'll probably take it at any stage. If you get the entitlements done, you don't want to do the development, they'll look at that. Or there's another operator in your area that will do that. If you get the streets and curb and infrastructure in and you want to sell all the lots out, that's a good number to call because
Yeah.
they've got the money. And so and they're looking for lots, so you can reach out to those people, kind of get a feel for the market, trying to stay ahead of those guys and see what they're looking to do in your specific market. And I think that's going to give you a really good indication of when to get in and what to build out.
Yeah. So you've got self storage that you got going on, and then you're building out the development. What's kind of next? Like, because I know I can tell you're thinking ahead. You're looking at the future. What's next for you?
It's really that mixed use development where you
Hmm.
bring it all together. You've got really, we're creating an ecosystem where we've got apartment complexes and commercial on the front. We've got single family homes, and then we've got duplex and patio home portions of it, all 6, 7 phases of that. And as you build those out, what you create is, well, you're going to move into the apartment complex. You meet a bunch of friends. You got your friends and everything. Then you want to buy a house, so you buy a patio home. That's your starter home.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
buying that. You've met all the people, but you don't want to move out of the neighborhood. You don't want to lose all your friends or move away, but your family's growing. So you hop over to the bigger home where you've got a nice yard and everything, and you
Yeah.
want to do all that. And then the kids grow up and they leave the house, but you still got all your friends there, and you've got your walking trails and all your amenities and things. Maybe you want to step back down to a smaller home, even
The apartment. Yeah.
half a duplex if you're not going to if you're not going to be here full time, you want to do some traveling and you don't want to take care of the yard. So
Creating a very like a cyclical thing for them. Yeah, that's really cool.
yeah. Yeah, so that's our focus right now, is to build out those mixed use developments and support the commercial through everything that we build, and that takes us around 100 to 140 acres.
Wow. Wow. That's cool. Man, that's exciting, man. Here's the thing is like you, you've done it all, it's from 18 and then 2008 and then I have no reason for any to believe at all that you're not going to do that. Yeah, he's going to do it. Yep. It's going to happen.
Yeah, yeah. And I've got, I can look at the people that have gone before me, the guys I used to build lots from, and they stop by and we talk, and I ask them, how'd you do all this stuff? But yeah, really it's a good time to get into development. I feel like we've got a runway ahead of us, and there's a little bit of uncertainty right now. And I think that if you look at that and say, well, I'm going to wait, right, and I'm going to see how things are all going to work out. The mixed use development that we're doing right now is going to be a 2027 play.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Well, if you wait till 2027 to think, man, I might want to buy some land and do a development, well, good luck. With that, because when the economy turns around and the interest rates come down and we've got the tariff thing behind us and we know what prices are going to be on infrastructure, and the optimism is there. When the optimism gets there, good luck. Good luck getting the land and trying to tie it up under contract and get all that stuff done before, then you're looking at a 2029 completion date.
Right. And then, who knows? Right.
So the runway is now and to get that traction and that momentum going.
Yeah. Well, man, Chad, this has been a great,
Thanks for doing
it. No, I don't think you're wrong. I see you're playing it out in real time. But like I said, this has been great. If people want to reach out to you, follow you in some way, that sort of thing, what's the best way for them to?
Yeah, no worries. So you can email me at chad@risingercapital.com, and I'll get your email there. And if you're in real estate development, I'd love to talk to you. I mean, I wouldn't say I'm the best at education or teaching people how to do it right. Not just yet. I haven't wrote a book yet, but I would say that, if you're in it, if you're in the game, or if you got one foot in the door and you need a little push, give me a holler. Shoot me an email. You can go to risingercapital.com and get on my calendar. Let's talk. And if you want to come alongside of us, if you just are excited about it and see the opportunity, but not quite there on how to do it all yourself, and you want to come alongside us, we can talk about that too.
Dude, that's incredible. Guys, that's a no-brainer, right? If you're in the KC area or not even in it, and you reach out to Chad, guys, and get to know him. And man, this has been great, man. I'm selfish. I'm I just want to keep talking and everything, but I do want to respect your time, Chad. So man, it's been a pleasure.
Yeah, no problem. Same here. Been real good, Brad. I appreciate it.
Yeah, man. All right. Well, guys, thanks for listening, and we'll catch you guys on the next episode. Take care, everybody.
Thanks for joining us for today's Real Estate Pros Show. You can learn more about the amazing benefits of the Investor Fuel Mastermind community, including surrounding yourself with hundreds of other rock stars, 100% financing for your deals, and members-only discounts from vendors you're likely already using that, as a member of Investor Fuel, will save you more than the cost of your membership. Visit investorfuel.com to learn more. If you're interested in joining us as a guest of this show, please visit investorfuel.com/pros to apply. You can also check the show notes for access to free resources, how to get access to world-class lead generation, and much more. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another episode. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next show.